right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Evan Aldo here. We got the 528 hertz on today, certain times. So a lot of calm, a lot of good energy this time of year. I don't know what I'm saying. A lot of good energy this time of year. Okay. But yeah, I mean, look, it's it's good. What we're kind of looking at overall is pretty good for a lot of these markets. I would say overall, generally still. We kind of made our jump, and if you were in the Discord with me, I took this along, and have added to it now. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm going to take profits on it. That's for Discord or where the stop loss is, but I have added to the position. I kind of wish I started with a little bit more. Maybe we'll go higher. Maybe I'll go a little bit higher here, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, I mean, look, it's you're trying to jump up to these higher levels, and I think you might. It's going to either reject here, come back down and lead to our summer low, or we're going to come up more, and you already had your summer low maybe. And Bitcoin holds up better because it already had, a nice correction earlier this year. Maybe not. But overall, when I look at a lot of this, money flow is coming up. I don't see anything that bad. Your 6-day confirmed, but your money flow still looks like it wants to kind of override this. 2 weeks not really giving us anything bearish, and I think that could be overridden by the monthly green dot. And then this is trying to jump up here, for Ethereum. So you could be, on the macro here, and look at these moves. These moves happen quickly. We just saw it. Okay, yeah. We just saw the quick move, but can that happen again? Maybe, into August and September, maybe back up to that 4,000 range, which would be momentous. A lot of people would be back in the seat if we were to say that. So yeah. And what's up, Johnny? And what's up, Polar Ribbon? How long should the intro be? I'll take, it should be a minute. Should be no intro. I don't. What do you guys want? What's the prognosis here? Shout out to Polar Bear, man. Well, been a minute. Hope you're doing well. But anyway, so that's kind of right there, and then we got the live trade, and then ETH versus Bitcoin. I think it should be able to generally continue forward here. So right now, there's a lot of stuff that's looking pretty decent on the charts, and we came back down for Cardano to this point. A lot of this was Iran, obviously. Now, the big thing here where it gets a little bit more, it's like if you want a news event that turned you bearish, I guess, did not destroy yet. U.S. near pressure. So Trump just wants to move on. Trump just wants to move on, and he did the job, and I think it set them back at least a few years. So I think it did what we wanted to do for now. I'll agree with Trump on that. So that's good enough. He doesn't want to, it's good enough, it's kind of move on, and I kind of agree with that. For now, I think it's good enough. We did what we wanted to do, ceasefire, we got the job done for now. Probably got the job done until Trump will be gone, and the next guy could deal with it, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. So let's see. I'm trying to think here. So yeah, and if you look at some NFTs, I'm curious, not too much really going on at the moment. I think they may come back up a little bit. Look, I think until you got probably, until, look at Cardano. If you believe in a lot of these cryptos, man, if you believe in a lot of these cryptos, then you should hold here. Now, we've been disappointed many, many times before. But really, your technical target should be at $1.60. Now, when the hell do you get there? It's hard to exactly say, obviously, but probably if you could repeat something of this nature, which is not out of the realm of reality. Can you see a bullish July and August? Is this your summer low right here? Is that enough? Is that drop down enough? 37%? Probably. If you believe in alts, yes. If If you think Cardano is garbage and it's going to zero, then no. I mean, I guess there's some fundamental play here. So yeah. And let's see, ETH versus others. And yeah, that point there. Jump right there. So ETH, I know people get annoyed with the net mouse clicking. I'm trying to see what to look at that I haven't looked at like already. To lower high there for Matic. I mean, your target would eventually be, up to 42 cents. So, I mean, if you double, some people would be happy. Hopefully into the end of the year or whatever. So, yeah. And then there's some things that have made lower lows that have been kind of depressing. However, trying to come back up with DOT, but that's like, I mean, some of these are starting to look like, AVAX not too bad. AVAX, there's definitely more hope than DOT, I would say. But yeah, this is hitting that big point. Kind of like Cardano at the 50 cents. This is like the same kind of point for Avalanche. And I think that you want to hold and you want to break upward back to like the 34. So you want to double here. Within the next few months, you really want to double. That's going to be big for Avalanche. And hopefully the rate cut in September will be right on time. Things will have a lot of fun. I think Token 2049 conference is end of September, early October. I would think that would be around the time where things start to really blast off, hopefully. And then, you're starting to look more and more bearish on your yields. So I would assume that you should be, maybe 3% is a little bit of a stretch here, but you should be able to come down, enough to help us out a little bit. And this looks more bullish too. So I think you made a higher low here. So I do think, the thing I was looking at, comparing the TLT to your low, your higher low. Let's just look at, let's say we're right here. Now, you didn't really, you generally kept upward. You didn't break upward until, it was, let's see, 2 years later. So if we compare this to that, then your crash will be, well, I don't know necessarily about your crash 27. I think that's a little bit early, but your crash would probably be somewhere between, at the absolute earliest next year, the bear market year, and then between there and 2030, that 4-year period. I would think more of later, just because mainly 08 was so bad and you didn't really get things going until like 2011. So about 20 years, 19, 20 years of general upwardness from there, I would think. So it would be around 2030. And this will probably, you could see, if you were to compare, I don't know how long this goes back, but, yeah, 29, and then 2030 you'd break upward. I would guess it would be more like that. Let's see. TIA fundamentally. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know too much about TIA fundamentally. Celestia, I don't know. It's one of those new ones, a full bubble pop pattern. Now it's breaking downward. I don't think it's in the best position. I'll be honest with you. I think there's probably better things to buy. Can it come back? Can it shoot up? Give you 10x? Sure, but I have no idea. Let's see. Coinbase has done well. Yeah, I think that it kind of follows Bitcoin, obviously, and I think you can get up to probably the 660, because we know it probably will outperform Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up another, let's say 50% to 150, this would probably get up 80. I think you can get up to 6 something. Yeah, I think you can. I don't see why not. The big target would be really freaking high. I think that may be a little bit too optimistic, but yeah, 800 may be a little too optimistic, but 660, sure. We'll take it. AVAX, yeah, double bottom, you mean? Yeah, AVAX probably double bottom, yeah. So the detected trader, let's take a look at, I'll show you the Discord, sure. I'll show you the latest, kind of a small group today, so I'll show you kind of what we do. And, I'm probably giving you guys a little bit away for free here. But, well, I'll give you some of the entries that we had, some of the trades. So Come on. Wait, did we just crash? Why isn't... What's going on here? All right, that didn't... it was probably... Yeah, okay. It's like downloading the updates. Okay. Damn updates. But, come on. Okay. Okay, let's look here. So I'll kind of show you. I mean, it's like a lot of trade setups. That's the thing I shouldn't be giving away for free, or this too. But the ETH long here and then doubled ETH long. I give you the actual. I'm the only person that does this. Whether win or lose. That one was stopped out. The Bitcoin. For it closed out the TRX one, and then Bitcoin long. Those two were actually stopped out. It happens. Iran was a lot to blame for that, but then we had the ETH one there. So, yeah. Stopped out in profit there. So, I mean, it's 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio generally. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. And you only really need to win, what is it? With a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio, like 40 to 50% of your trades to be plenty profitable. So the goal is to win about half of them. So if you did that over time, no promises, but I think that you should be profitable. No promises. We can't predict the future. Oh, we also got Nightshade. He has a lot of good stuff there. Really good trader too. So, a lot of good setups too. And bearish continue, he's doing more stuff with like more coins I haven't heard of, but it does a lot of good stuff here. So yeah. And you got KMAC as well if you guys are into Forex. He's really good too. Yeah, I wouldn't have them in there if I wasn't. I mean, a lot of stuff with traditional markets. I think he does very well. A lot of good stuff there. So check it out. I think it's well worth it. And if you sign up to any of the exchanges down below, such as BYDFI or BloFin, you get the deposit bonus, 10% cash back on all your fees with both of these. If you deposit at least $100 and open the support ticket in the Discord, and you can go to the support ticket area. Where is it? Over here. Open the support ticket with your UID or your email. We'll give you one free month. You just got to deposit at least $100. So I put in the trades that I'm more confident on. Sometimes I do take ones that I give like the setup for that I'm less confident on, but I do take all the trades. I do take all the trades. Sometimes I take a few that I don't specifically tag everyone in though, as I'm less confident on. But I take 100% of the trades that I do post in there and tag everyone in the entries tab. I take 100% of those. So when they are losers, I do lose money. That's part of the game. But I mean, obviously I can't promise you're gonna be able to blindly follow me and make money. I wish that was the way, but you want to try to learn the TA as well and all that too. So but yeah, trying to hold there. I mean, there's always going to be a bearish and bullish case. I think you're going to hold here in ETH versus Bitcoin. I think ETH should be able to keep going. I like the wick there, hitting off of the big point. I mean, this really comes down to like part of this is like, do you believe that we're in the place where ETH should freaking hold these areas? Are we in the place where ApeCoin should be, or AVAX can hold the place, where ApeCoin can hold the place, where, well, not Coinbase is going to go to the moon, but are we in the place where these things can hold that area and keep going? Are we in the place where Bitcoin could break up off this trigger wave up the 2-day? Probably. Maybe not, but probably. Where would your target be? 120. Can you get to 120 by July 4th, July 6th? I mean, maybe. It's only a little over a week, but we could get some excitement. People are apathetic with crypto right now. People are bored with it, but I do think you're going to get a little bit more excitement. 50% unrealized gain on the Bitcoin that MicroStrategy bought. They keep adding Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, I think that you're gonna, that's the thing too. You would think you'd have such a higher percentage of, unrealized gains, but he keeps borrowing. I mean, it is kind of genius what he's done too. I mean, obviously, he has well over enough money at this point. It's just, that's what they're trying to, they're trying to copy that with they're trying to do what MicroStrategy did, except it's with Ethereum. This could, I don't think you would, you can get up to these points again. I don't know if you're going to make new highs here, but you can get back up to these points there with the SBET. We were talking about this on Paul Barron. I'll be on that channel. I'll be on Paul Barron on Friday. And Yeah. So yeah. I'm trying to think what else here. I mean the triple Q, I think that made a new all-time high. My view, yeah, this goes to mid-July. I think that here you'll make the new all-time high as you did, and then you probably reject a bit, and then maybe get the summer low. But maybe the summer low won't be too bad. It'll just be a little sideways. I mean, I think end of year, early next year. I mean, 600 for this, and that should be well enough to get Bitcoin to 150K. I mean, I guess you could reject from where we are right now. I don't think it's the strongest place to reject from. I think more likely 550. But yeah, I mean, I think things generally still look good. I think that right now, the important thing to realize is like you just gotta like fucking excuse the language. You just gotta freaking, just be able to hold it in. You gotta hold, just hold all, just hold the stuff until Q4 and then DCA out from October to December. I think it's just a holder's game as what it is most summers, but this year has really dragged on with it. I'm gonna look at that. Jupiter. This one had some good fundamentals. I mean, people were more excited, obviously way more excited over here, in March than they were right now at 40 cents. But higher or low, I think this may be able to do something cool. There's some potential here. Just thinking there. Let's go to the SPY as well. Did that make a new high? Not yet. So I guess you could reject from there. I kind of don't think you will, though. I think you generally, 700 could be end of year numbers. 700. I mean, that you're right where you were generally beginning a year. So it's a 15% gain on the year. I think it will be. I mean, if I had to guess, I think it'll be a good year. And that's a V-shaped recovery and a half right there. And then you break upward. You get targets higher. You got targets higher. Hmm. Bitcoin dominance, what it feels like on the verge of milking. Yeah, I mean, people that was the most posts on Twitter being really bearish and alts too from like pretty well known influencers like kind of throwing in the throwing the what is it throwing in the towel, throwing in the white flag, waving the white flag. That's the analogy. I mean, I don't think you would. I mean, I'll be honest. I said this at 64. I probably even said this at 62. I don't think you'll go past 66. It would be very unlikely that you wouldn't top out, by the next rate cut September. That would be very unlikely. If you look at, I think Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance, like minus tether, just minus tether here. If that, what? That's okay. Bitcoin. Do you have to like minus tether? Oh, maybe it's that one. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, you gotta like, okay, yeah, you gotta like freaking, let's see, minus tether plus, I don't know, USDC dominance, maybe that's probably the second biggest one, yeah. Wait, that's not, I don't know. I thought it was at 70% if you minus all the stables. What is we get our bull move now instead of Q4? Everybody anticipate Q4 now. Nobody will. Well, I mean, I think we will get our bull move. It depends. I think we will be bullish now. It just depends how bullish. I think the majority of what you'll see will be in September to December, as what you saw in 2017 and kind of what you saw for, well, some alts in 21. But it could be different this time. I don't know. I mean, it does feel different. Like the level of apathy is pretty high. It's like we had, that fun period of like COVID until like, that 4-year period from COVID. And now everybody's kind of just moving on in their lives and, and just living boring lives. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, look, you got a trigger wave on the 2-day in a bull market year. I mean, generally this should jump to like 120 from that. And that would be big. That could be ETH at 4K. Maybe not at least 3,200, I would hope. It could be a lot. And I mean, I think it's generally going to be ETH season for, July, August, September. And then at quarter 4 will probably be alt season. Maybe a little bit quicker than that. Maybe next 2 months just ETH season. Then it depends what the Fed does. Betting odds or the odds in general are getting a little bit teeny weeny bit higher for a cut in July, but I mean, 1 out of 4 times is probably not going to happen. But there, and then there's your 3 cuts. Now, that would be cool, and that would, you'd probably see your yields go down. 30-year. I'm just curious what that would. I mean, obviously we know from what the mortgage rate is right now, that would probably bring you down about to low 6s, back to low 6s where we are right there, into maybe end of year. Could be quicker. I mean, you got time based on your. Oh wait, no, it's the wrong. Nah, yeah, around there. It looks pretty bearish there. So you'd probably get to low 6s, I would hope, for a 30-year mortgage end of year. So yeah. People are talking about even more cuts in 26. It doesn't really. I would think you would see a few more cuts in 26, but I mean, where could this really go down? Probably like here. 5.7, something like that at some point in 26. I mean, it could. I don't know if you're going to get back to this area anytime soon. I mean, it's probably going to be more of a sideways to bearish game. I don't know if I would hope for that. I mean, high 4s. I mean, a lot of people. That would be, if you think you're going to have a nice, like, next 3 years for the housing market into maybe 28 or 29, then you would be hoping for that. But I don't know if that's really. Like, let's just look at how were rates. Like 2005, 2006. I mean, they were kind of coming up here. They were high at the end, and then at the this technically kind of, I mean, they were down, and then 08, obviously everything fell off a cliff as they came down. So, I mean, they were generally at the top, at the peaks, they were high. So if you're comparing that, and that was the area to kind of get in for and then hold 3 years and sell. But I mean, who knew to do that, You got high, and then, That's for real estate, but or really stock market, everything, everything. I don't know except gold. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, it would be, I'd give it 80 to 90%, if not more, of a chance that if Bitcoin's at somewhere between 120K to 150K at the end of this year, 2026 likely would be a bear market year, and you'll come back to somewhere between, I don't know, 45K and 60K by the end of 2026. That's kind of what will probably happen. I mean, I would hope things stay really good, but we'll see. So yeah. Just thinking here. End of year 2024, we got trapped. I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, if you think that's going to repeat, and I think it might. I do think it might. I mean, it's obviously going to have some differences. Nothing repeats exactly, but I mean, Just look at your AVAX chart right here. Like, look at the last time we were kind of like this with the money flow. I mean, you probably got something in you, I would think, like this. You know what I mean? Like, let's say we do this. Like, that would be perfect peak end of year at your old all-time highs. And then I think that would be enough excitement where everybody's going to be screaming 200 or 300, but no, then you just reject that. Like, that's kind of what I would guess there, but it's still enough. You know what I mean? It's still enough. I mean, it's 400%. We'll take it. You know what I mean? I think any new all-time high for ETH would get people very excited. I think even because there was a lot of hype at the end of last year when ETH was at 4K. I think if you were even able to get back to 4K, there would be a lot of excitement, and that would probably push you to somewhere between 5 to 8K by end of year or something. You know, I think there's a lot of potential for ETH. You know, I mean, you're currently down about 50% from all-time highs, which is, I mean, it's not good, but well, actually, yeah, right around 50%. Like, it's not good compared to Bitcoin, but it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Compared to most alts, it's not that bad. So yeah, and I mean, if you bought, unless you were buying like really bad times, like your damn all-time high or any of these highs, you wouldn't be down that bad. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be that bad. So I don't think it's like that bad for pouring out an asset. And if we do get up to 3,200 in the next 2 weeks, then you're even less in the bad. You know what I mean? Less in the red. So yeah, it's the ultimate thing. Always appreciate you guys smashing the like button and all that. Let's see if any alts have or anything has been moving. Fear and greed is, let's actually look at this a little bit. So, you know, it's kind of like you came down here, you jumped up. I mean, this is a little wishy-washy this summer. So, according to that, you probably had, and this is interesting because it's right around the same time. So, from there to there, you had about 3 weeks. So, 3 more bullish weeks would be into end of July here. You might be able to get a good 3 bullish weeks here. And then maybe you have another summer lull or something. Maybe our summer lull is over. You know, maybe it's not as bad. So that's what, you know, that's that view. We could be like right there. Yeah. So yeah. First top of Bitcoin at 73K and ETF FOMO, then end of year. Let's see, got the first top of Bitcoin at 73K. Why am I not registering with? Let's see. Oh yeah, ETH FOMO. Yeah. Well, the ETF FOMO was that was at 40. That came out at 45. Yeah, that's why you're confusing me. No, ETF came out at 45K. You had a little bit of a sell off, and then yeah. Much bigger move. Yeah, I agree. If that's a bull, I'm not sure I completely understand that, but yeah, I think I agree there. I mean, more likely than not, you should be able to keep going up. More likely than not, your yields will probably come down. Bitcoin, ETH will probably keep going up. Most of your alts will do something, you know. That's kind of your view here. If we look at others versus Bitcoin, I don't know how much lower this will go. I would say worst case scenario, probably another 10%, 20 or 20%, maybe there. I think this is the one that if you look at total 3 minus tether, and this has been the most slow freaking, you know, I think I had an old like one I was showing like hoping that you would just bottom at these points years ago, 2 years ago. But I mean, yeah, now you're like breaking down to that point. This would be, I would think, worst case scenario. Another 15 to 20% down there to those points, and then it's kind of like you got a decent shot there. Breaking out of a falling wedge. Well, a falling wedge is generally a bullish pattern, so that's good. You're talking about that, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it'd probably bring you up to 2,500 or something. We'll take it. And the volatility's been, you know, obviously a lot of volatility. I mean, this was a 12% drop down, and then what was that from that wick? 17% jump up. So pretty good. I just want to look at the ETF because I'm just curious about like where you would be. Okay, so yeah, so inception of it, well, kind of the inception, yeah, it was right there. If you bought it there, you would have been red for a while. You would have been down 35%. No bueno. Actually, not that bad, but 66%. You'd be at break even, kind of in the inception of it. I would think that your target's going to be up here, so that would be 4,500, or really, I forget exactly how. Yeah, no, it's kind of, that'd be almost a new all-time high, I would think, or your old all-time high. So if you can get there a couple months, it'd be nice. I think we could have a nice couple months here. So yeah. ETH 3200 break it. I think you're right, Dreams. I think Bitcoin 115 to 120 is easily $3,200 Ethereum. I think so. I think ETH will generally keep outperforming Bitcoin into the end of the year. So yeah. I want to take a look-see at gold here. Bear div on gold. I would think gold will cool off a little bit. I would hope so. Because if you can get, let's say you got a lot of profits end of year. You got a lot of profits. And then this, it's down to this point. Gold could be a good conversion end of year to kind of hold on to for a year. That and S&P 500 would be probably, if you went half gold, half S&P 500 for a supposed crypto bear market year 2026, that would probably be a pretty good idea. You'd probably be able to hold on to a lot of capital, and if you converted back to Bitcoin at the end of that year, it'd probably be pretty good. Let's say you got one Bitcoin, or the equivalent of one Bitcoin. It goes up to 150K. You convert that into gold. Let's look at what gold. Let's say we're anti-paper assets, anti-S&P 500. Convert that into gold. And I think gold will probably actually looks kind of bullish against Bitcoin right now, which is weird. Yeah, actually it looks pretty good again. Well, not in the monthly, but let's look at previous. Let's do some. Let me add this crap in. From right here, you outperformed by 260, pretty damn good. Right there, you outperformed by 400. So a good amount. Those are pretty close. Those are pretty close. This is the previous one, 2014. Look at the bear market years. 600, 400, 200, even if you get 60%, even if it's just 60% against that, then 60% more Bitcoin, you got one Bitcoin, let's say, 1.6 Bitcoin you would have. So it's pretty good. Let's say Bitcoin goes up to 300K, 400K into the decade. You're not at 1 million, but you're getting there. And it would be even more if you did some stuff with ETH too. So yeah. DXY dropping like a row. Let's actually look at that. It might not be the best thing for us, but DXY, I don't know if it needs to. I think it will, maybe will bounce here. I don't know if it we that's those places where it dropped. I think we can go down safely back to these points without causing that much chaos, but we'll see. I don't even look at the damn Dixie anymore. It just doesn't do anything. It's not. It could bounce. It's hard to say. Yeah. But yeah. Casper looks pretty good. I mean, you guys know what I'm going to say about these. I mean, there's always, if injective edits run, can Casper. I mean, there's always a crypto that was kind of popular, which kept going, and then it just don't do what it, what it once did. It just loses the momentum. But I do think it can jump here, yeah. Let's look at Swede. That's fallen off a little bit, I think, or at least in terms of. I mean, this looks good. Yeah, probably should be able to. I was wrong there. Now you just move everything over a little bit when you're wrong, But I don't know. I mean, yeah, at the end of the year, I mean, hopefully a new all-time high. Maybe not though. Let's look at Injective. That was another one that had like a lot of blood on it. I would probably stay away from this based on the weekly, but yeah. I'm trying to think here. This looks pretty good. Yeah, XRP. You'll get back up to those high twos at some, within a few months at least. Yeah, could be quicker. You'll get back there. I mean, it would be very, very unlikely that you can't get back to the high twos here, I would think. Cardano we looked at. I think it's going to bounce, man. I mean, yeah, Cardano, I mean, it looks pretty good. I think you're eventually coming back up to the 117 and breaking upward to hopefully, 2 something. So there's potential here. Definitely a lot of potential. Trigger waves. Uniswap looks pretty good too. I think it should jump back to that 12. Down, yeah. Last year, end of year, Bitcoin, but yeah. That's what I'm thinking, Dreams. I mean, I don't know. Are you getting this on your own, or are you getting this from what I've been saying the last few months or whatever? That's what I've been. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. That's what I've been saying and thinking. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be different in some ways. I think it might be better. Different would mean either better or worse. I think it may be better, than last year, but we'll see. I mean, definitely have to see. Tethered on, yeah. I mean, that's people usually when this looks really good, that would be more. I think it can roll over. You do have trigger waves and such. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, their monthly looks bearish. A little bit in between. I would guess you could break downward a little bit more. I mean, this thing generally just goes upward. I don't think this is the best thing to really look at to predict what Bitcoin's going to do. But obviously, it has those falls when Bitcoin does really well. So yeah. Right there, yeah. Pepe, I think it can jump, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the biggest meme guy, but yeah, I think it probably will continue. I mean, there's so many. I mean, it's then you go into memes, you go down the whole rabbit hole. There's Shiba Inu, that'll probably jump too here, maybe. I mean, there's the granddaddy of it all, the Dogecoin. I mean, it's that could jump too. I mean, that could end up back at all-time highs at some point, We'll see what happens. But no, I think the markets look good. It's just like you just got to have that patience because it's like day by day, it's taking its damn time. But I think we'll get more movement, yeah. What's up, David Brumbelow? How have you been? Let's see, how are you doing? Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, like I've been saying, yeah, I think you're exactly right. I mean, people are not too awake. The only thing going against us, I guess, is summer is usually generally less volatility. But I think we may have already had our lull, and we could just gradually, keep pulling forward. We'll see. Um, I'm trying to think. Like last time Trump was in office, I mean, obviously 2017 was that big run. The last time that was the bull market year when he was in office. The next bull market year was when it was 21. Biden was in office, so you had a really good 2017. Obviously, I mean that was a much different time. Things were a lot different back then, but maybe it'll be more like that. And a lot of it happened more towards the end of 2017. Yeah, so yeah, I mean it's just kind of a patience game, at this point. Anyway, guys, I think there's not too much else to really go over at the moment. I mean, I kind of looked at everything I want to look at. I mean, I'm kind of in the long. The Bitcoin, I'll probably post this, but I think trying to jump up to 120 makes sense. Let's look at, oh yeah, it's the one thing I didn't look at today, funding rates, and they are not bad at all. Yeah, I mean, it's still negative for Bitcoin, more people are shorting. I mean, I think that here's where you maybe, if we look at, I think the 3 days the best one to look at here, like, yeah, it's always it changes, but I mean, maybe go. And there are a lot of liquidations at like 110 at your old all-time high. So, I mean, people are betting you. If you're trading like that, you're just betting we're not going to make a new all-time high. Even more. That's wild. I'm surprised there's that many people shorting with the just betting we won't go up to 130. But I mean, okay, you could argue there's more. Probably this combined with this would be equal to this point at 78. So. Moral of the story, I mean, people are going to get wrecked regardless of where price goes, but yeah. Featured. Yeah, I mean, the yen coming down a little bit here. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people go to Japan. It's getting more expensive. I don't know. I think it could jump more against the yen. I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like the yen would fight back, but their economy's not good either. I don't. I have no idea. That's tough, man. The Costa Rican one. That looks toppy. That looks like it may fall down. But yeah, who knows? It hasn't done much since, yeah. How about the Malaysian one? That one's looked a little bit better against the dollar, but yeah, a little bit of a jump there. But it's still, when you really look at, 13%. I mean, that's not that significant. And then we had our, he just became a U.S. citizen, Zorhan Dani, what a name, a few years ago. I think he's Ugandan citizen. This is Middle Eastern, right? I would think. Democratic Socialist. I mean, I think just the voting demographic in New York City is just so hardcore of the Bernie Sanders AOC crowd and they didn't want to deal with like an older. I mean, I who knows how the guy's gonna be, but generally the pattern of leadership has been pretty bad in New York City. The crime's gone up. You have worse things happening. Maybe it's getting a little bit better. Progressive vision for new directions. So rent freezes. Okay, so preventing rent from going up too high. City-run grocery store price gaps. So just tons of regulation in terms of prices. But it always seems like the damn cities that have all these regulations, like San Francisco or whatever, they're always the most expensive places to live. You know what I mean? Anyway, so it's like, does it really make a damn difference? Direct-to-camera videos, all this. Yeah, okay, so, oh yeah, direct-to-camera, yeah, so he was doing social media stuff. Yeah, well, he'll be the next mayor. I mean, I don't think there was any chance the Republican could beat him, but whoever they put up, but, yeah, I mean, I guess it's just the demographic that votes. But the thing, too, is like, it's kind of like what Robert Kiyosaki kind of says about Bernie Sanders. He's like, I like Bernie Sanders because I have no income. This is going to benefit me. You know what I mean? All those policies are kind of an illusion. So, yeah. Yeah, the working class. Hmm. Probably didn't win. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Not fully, yeah. Create his own party, could run a joint. Yeah, he could run as independent. Will he do that though? I don't know. That could happen. Yeah, that could, but you also have. That would be a weird freaking, because then you have all. That would be if you had Cuomo and you had this guy and you also had Adams running. I mean, that would be probably the scenario that would make the. I wonder, would the Republican win in that case? Would that make the Republican get the plurality of the vote in that case? I wonder. Repeat, yeah. Or what are they saying on Poly Market? Let's see, 33. I have a feeling this guy will be the next mayor. I mean, but he. Let's see. Nah, I mean Jerome will. I don't know if I think Jerome will cut. He wants to cut in September. It seems like. I don't know though. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows if Cuomo? I mean, Cuomo's the name. Cuomo. I have no idea. I haven't studied enough. But can Cuomo win as an independent? Maybe. Eric Adams. I'm surprised he's. I guess he knew he wouldn't get the primary. Yeah. What is this? MOV? I have no idea what it. I don't know what the hell that means, but oh, that's where it gets interesting. Yeah, if he runs as a. Yeah, so they don't even. Oh yeah, no, that's the Republican, I think, right? Is that the Republican candidate? Yeah. So I guess they don't think it's going to be okay. So the betting odds think it's okay. So I guess it's just that demographic that votes that voting demographic in New York City is just so freaking to the left that it's just yeah. I mean, 72% for this dude. I mean, he's probably going to be the next mayor. Hmm. For July. Cuomo endorse Eric Adams. That would be interesting. Probably not. Oh, there's 2 rounds of this. I didn't even realize that. Okay, I don't even. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's all I want to really talk about today. I mean, Fed decision in September. Interesting how. Yeah, that'll be the cut most likely. But yeah, I mean, I think this could keep going. Hopefully, things look pretty good, guys. To summarize this, I mean, it does look like a pretty good market overall. Still, I added to the ETH long. I should put even more in this to be more ballsy. I don't know why I'm trading more conservative here, but yeah. Anyway, guys, if you guys want to trade, check out BYDFI. You get a welcome bonus up to 8,100 deposit bonus, 10% of your fees for life, only with my link. And in addition, on BloFin, you get 10% cash back for life if you sign with my link, and then some good bonuses for trading volume and minimum deposits. So 5K, 5 mil trading 600. So yeah, be careful with it, but the 10% cash back is really good. And always remember, if you signed up and deposited at least $100, give you 1 free month in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord. Open a support ticket with your UID and your email, and we'll get you sorted. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'll see you guys really soon. Smash the like button. Always appreciate it.